If you were born in the 1980s like me, then there's a very good chance that, like me, you saw the film My Girl, starring Macaulay Culkin and Anna Klumsky. And, like me, there's a very good chance that if you did see that movie, you were scarred for life. By the way, this video will contain spoilers for the movie My Girl. So you were scarred for life because you watched the film because the kid from Home Alone was in it, but then he dies like halfway through and it just comes out of nowhere. And he dies because he gets stung by bees. My Girl did for bees what Jaws did for sharks, at least when it came to 10-year-old girls like me. You know who didn't see My Girl, apparently? Gwyneth Paltrow and 1,000 other idiots who get willingly stung by bees for acupuncture. So it's acupuncture, but instead of needles, they use live bees. Honestly, it sounds like the kind of medical treatment that was invented by someone who hates people who seek out alternative medicine. It's like saying, what if we did ear candling, but instead of putting the bottom of the candle in your ear, we just shoved the flame part in? What if I pretend to speak to a person's grandmother, but instead of saying that she loves him, she says she's roasting in hell, oh God, help, it hurts. Like, you've already taken one thing that's complete bullshit, and now you've added something else so that it's really horrible bullshit. That's basically apitherapy, which can also include treating various conditions with honey or royal jelly or honeycomb or whatever other bee byproduct you think might have magical properties. Bee venom acupuncture, like regular acupuncture, has basically no decent science to support it. One meta-analysis found that, yeah, it might work for post-stroke shoulder pain, but all the studies that claim to show that are extremely poor quality. In order to show any actual effectiveness, it needs to have real science done by real scientists. And we don't really have that for the shoulder pain, let alone for the dozens of other things people claim that bee venom acupuncture can fix, like, and I quote, multiple sclerosis, arthritis, wounds, pain, gout, infections, shingles, burns, tendinitis. All of this is according to the American Apitherapy Society. Yeah, they claim they can treat multiple sclerosis. Fuck these guys. Like, it's bad enough you have MS. You have somebody stinging you with live bees now? It's just cruel. So all of this brings us to the latest news, as reported in a case study that was recently published in the Journal of Investigational Allergology. Maybe allergology? No, allergology. That sounds better. And clinical immunology, in which a woman has died due to bee sting acupuncture. She was 55. She had no prior allergies or diseases on record. She had been getting bee sting treatments once a month for 2 years, with no ill results up until she died. On this fateful day, she was stung. She became short of breath. She lost consciousness. The quack giving her the treatment didn't have any proper tools to combat anaphylactic shock. And an ambulance took 30 minutes to get to her, at which point real medical professionals treated her with adrenaline and antihistamines. But by that point, it was too late. She fell into a coma and she died a few weeks later. Here's the scary thing about bee venom. Repeated exposure to bee venom makes it more likely to cause a severe allergic reaction. I know a beekeeper who had obviously been stung many times in his life, and one day he was stung, he went into anaphylactic shock, and he died on the spot because he didn't have an EpiPen handy. It happens because sometimes a bee sting will cause a person's body to misinterpret the venom as a virus or other invader, and their immune system overwhelms their body in an attempt to fight it, releasing large amounts of chemicals like histamines. This causes the person's blood pressure to drop, which can lead to fainting. If the person has an EpiPen, which has epinephrine or adrenaline, basically, they can inject themselves with it, and that gives them about a half an hour to get help before they pass out. So yeah, if your business is based on purposely stinging people with bees, you should have some damned adrenaline on hand in case of anaphylactic shock. It's bad enough that these people are stinging people with bees with no noticeable benefit to it, but it's criminal that they're doing it without having a possibly life-saving device that literally costs $10. Speaking of criminal, hi Gwyneth Paltrow. The New York Times very helpfully passed along Dr. Paltrow's advice to get stung by bees. She also suggested it on her shitty website Goop, which we've covered in the past on this channel. So I'll be interested to see if she ever gets around to deleting that advice now that a woman has actually died from it. But honestly, who cares? People will keep buying her bullshit whether it kills someone or not.